Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to show you what to do on a pre-drywall walk, what to expect, what items you have to watch out for when you're building a brand new house. Right behind me, I just did a pre-drywall walk with the superintendent, and we found quite a few things. I personally found quite a few things that I wasn't happy with the builder as far as the quality of construction. I'm not going to mention who this builder is because it wouldn't be fair, and I don't want this video to be taken down for any reason. This video is supposed to be a video to educate the people that follow me and show them what to watch out for when they are doing a pre-drywall walk. In the case, they decided not to hire me as their realtor to help them throughout this process. Now, obviously, I can't tell you everything, all the things that we can find on a pre-drywall walk because I don't know what your situation is, and every walk is different. However, on this one specifically, I'm going to show you what we found, what to expect when you're doing a pre-drywall walk, the whole process and all that stuff, so that you are more educated. Now, one thing you have to notice, the pre-drywall walk is going to happen right at the stage where you have the stucco on the outside already finished. We're still missing texture, and then inside it's not going to have the insulation in the walls yet. That way you can see everything that is in the house as far as wires, HVAC system, plumbing, electrical, all that stuff is going to be visible to the naked eye, which is important when you're doing the pre-drywall walk to understand what everything is. Now, this house is pretty much ready for the pre-drywall walk, we call it, which is before the drywall goes up into the house. And this is going to be the status of the house. Walking into the garage, you see this 2-car garage here. You're going to have all the setup ready to go. Your tankless water heater set up, the soft water loop, your electrical panel, you can see what's behind it, so don't hang anything in here. And then you have your gas line right there. You have your water lines for your hoses, all the good stuff that you need to see in the house. But this video is not about that. The video is more about, okay, what do we need to look at as far as inside the house? All these things are going to be explained by the builder, what everything is when you do the pre-drywall walk. They usually last around 30 minutes or so. And depending on the superintendent, if it's a nice superintendent that wants to be very thorough with the client or not. This specific one, this superintendent when we did the walk was very thorough. He's a very nice guy, takes care of their clients because their customer service, even for this builder that we're in, it's amazing. They have a really good customer service most of the time, not all the time. I had experience that are pretty bad with this builder. Anyway, we can see here, this is going to be the stage that the house is going to be in. Now, the problem comes, and this is one thing I need to mention with you guys, is the problem comes when the building standards are not met, at least, because here's the thing. When you build a house, there are building standards, right? And every builder has different fine print. They're going to say, well, this house is, like the flooring, the difference in level right there, the subfloor can have up to 3 millimeters on a 2 feet, on an 8 feet span, right? As far as foundation, for example. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in a second. Well, 3 millimeters is a lot of room. And then what happens is, and I've had this actually happen to another client that ended up canceling the house because of such a bad building standard. What happens is some builders, the flooring company will say, well, we can install this flooring up to 3 millimeters of uneven subfloor. So your concrete right here, before they put up the flooring, especially if you have luxury vinyl plank, what they're supposed to do is level it out. So pour some self-leveling concrete in any spots that are hollow, that are a little bit, they have a little bit of a hole in there. Some places, they don't do that because they just have poor management, poor construction. So you, as the buyer, you need to watch out for that. You need to make sure, hey, are these floors level? Because if they're not, and then they put up the flooring, it's going to be way more difficult to convince them to level out the flooring. And here's why. I just had a client. Let's say they had a soft spot right here. It was a little bit of a dip right here in the middle right here, okay? That's not the case for this house. Maybe there's a slight one, but it's not significant, right? Now what's going to happen is when you put the flooring on top, it's a luxury vinyl plank. that's going to flatten out and it's going to have a little bit of an empty spot underneath the flooring. So when you step on the flooring, it's going to make a clicking noise. It's going to start squeaking because the floor planks rub against each other, and it creates that kind of squeak. Or you can even hear the plank tap on the concrete. It'll make like a click. So every time you step on that spot, you're going to feel a hollow spot underneath your foot, and it's going to have that kind of reaction for you. And that's not good. I can guarantee you're going to be upset about that situation. And I've had this specific builder actually. What happened is we were doing a final walk. We saw it, and in the past they've always fixed it. But this specific superintendent and regional manager, did not want to fix it. They said, nope, that's within the standard. We measured it. It was 2 millimeters, of a soft spot. It's supposed to be, it can go up to 3 millimeters, so we cannot fix it. That's horrible for the buyer. That's like, it just makes you feel like you're not getting taken care of. And that's the problem, especially when you have margins that are being compressed so much with the high interest rates, kind of correcting prices and everything, that what happens is the builders are not going to be as willing, if they don't have many profits in the house, they're not going to be as willing to fix the issues that you're going to do, that you have, because what happens is they have to, they have to make money. And if they start fixing all the things that you have wrong in the house, you're going to have, they're going to lose money. So they don't want that, obviously. Now, obviously, hiring a realtor that is experienced with this stuff and knows what to watch out for is going to help you tremendously, because then it's going to be a way smoother transaction, even though you don't have a builder that has good quality construction, because the quality construction is more about making sure the house is built right and preventing the issues from happening, versus not having a good manager that oversees your project well, and then you go in there and like after the house is finished, well, I didn't see this issue before. This is an issue. Why don't you guys fix it? Well, that's within the standard. Well, that's on you because you didn't do your due diligence when you were supposed to. And that's why we have these pre-drywall walks. They're huge, very important for everybody. Now, let's get back to the video real quick. This specific home doesn't have any issues with the flooring, and here's why. There are some soft spots here, a little bit hollow spots, but what's going to happen is they're going to put in tile. The tile people are going to make sure they level it out first before they put on the tile. But if you put in luxury vinyl plank, you better watch out. It has to be perfect, the flooring. Otherwise, you're going to have soft spots underneath your feet, and that is not a good quality construction, in my opinion. I would never buy a house like that. Another thing you have to watch out for, and this is one issue that we had with this one, for example, and if I was in here, this would have never been noticed. And then what happens is you go to the walk at the end, and you're going to have a crooked wall. Look at this kitchen island. You see that little spot right there in the middle? I'm not sure if you can see it through the camera, but right here, there's a big bulge right here on the wall, and they even put a bracket right there to protect it. The reason why that one is bulging out is because they missed the spot right here with all their plumbing. So when they were putting on the island, they put it up the wrong way. And then what happened is all these pipes coming out, they kind of fell outside. Now, the framer, instead of fixing the issue and maybe doubling up on this specific one right here, on this plywood right here, and maybe pushing it out a little bit more so you don't have that bow right there in the middle. What they did is they just put an extra thing. Oh, it's okay. Half an inch sticking out. It's okay. It's not a big deal. When you put up the drywall on here, what's going to happen? You're going to have that baseboard at the end sticking out. You're going to have your wall is going to look awful from here. Guess what? It's within standard. They might not fix it for you. Now, for the most part, 95% of the time, this builder does fix those issues, because we do find them. Sometimes we don't catch all of these things on the pre-drywall walk, saving the builder money by putting up the drywall and having to rip it out again to reinstall it again. So what we do is, let's try to find all these issues right now. And then that's what we did here. We found this when we had told the superintendent, hey, this is what the issue is here. Can you guys fix it before you put up the drywall? Yes, they're going to straighten it out now, and then we're not going to have that issue. Okay. Now, another thing, you're also going to have this. Usually that's the reason why these pop-outs happen, is for these pipes. We had the neighbor, I sold even the house next door here. What happened is this pipe was actually wasn't centered with the wall. It was sticking out about an inch, and we had that same issue with the wall. So try to see if all the walls are straight. If they shimmy them all out with these little carton boards right here, that's to make the wall look nice and straight. If there's any crooked corners, tell them right now. They're going to be grateful for it, the builders, because you're fixing the issue now before you put up the drywall. That way they don't have to rip it out later. And it's a huge help to make the transaction go as smooth as possible. That's why experience makes a difference. A lot of people say, well, Jack, why do I need a realtor? It's a new home. Who cares? Well, because all these issues, you go to any builder out there, onto their page, onto Google reviews or Yelp reviews, you're going to see horrible reviews for all of them. Like 90% of the reviews are horrible. And the reason why is simply because they've had these issues and they built a property that is not up to par, and then the buyer was not happy with it. And then, I mean, it's also your fault, because every time I ask these people, well, what happened? Why don't you like the house? Well, it wasn't built right. Well, did you have a realtor? Did you have a realtor to, advise you to get a pre-drywall inspection? Do you have a realtor walking with you to the house? Not that this is a realtor job. It's not my job to make sure these things are done right, because it's not my responsibility. I'm not a construction expert. I just have been into these homes hundreds and hundreds of times, and I've seen all the issues already happen. So I know where my eye has to go in order to fix it. But it's no guarantee. So let's get an inspection. Let's get an inspector that does this professionally to make sure they look at everything, go into the attic, make sure everything is good. But that's the kind of value that a realtor can bring to you if you get the right realtor that knows how to do these kinds of inspections to make sure the house is built up to par for you. So that moral of the story is, hire me as your realtor. No, just kidding. If you guys have a realtor that is another realtor that knows this stuff, or you even have another realtor you want to give them the business, I totally understand. Go with them. But you should hire a realtor regardless, in my opinion, because they can help you throughout the whole process, negotiation, and all of that. This one downstairs, you'll have the bedroom over here. One thing you want to look out for right here is, obviously the levelness of the subfloor. All these studs right here, you want to see if there's anything uneven that is going to make the wall look bad. Also, you want to make sure that all the sides of the house right here is going to be sealed off. A lot of these sides, like for example right here, what they did is they're supposed to have this all sealed up, all the holes within where all the electric wires come in. That is actually a fire hazard. Oh, look at this. There's a ripped tar paper right there. That's another issue. So if any water were to come in from here, it will go inside. It'll start creating any mold in the house. That's huge. And actually, I just caught that right now because I didn't catch it earlier. So we're going to have that replaced by the builder and patch it up. But all these things, these are things that you have to watch out for when you're doing a pre-drywall walk. Let's say you don't fix that tar paper, right? And then eventually in the future, you have some kind of leak going in, because water does go in. And that tar paper, this black paper, is what stops the water from coming in. Humidity, water to come in inside the walls. You can have humidity come in, it can feed mold growth, and then you have mold in your house. That's the kind of stuff that you have to watch out for. That's why you do an inspection before, because you're like, oh, who cares, Jack? I have a warranty on the house. I have a warranty. They'll come and fix it. Well, some things might not be fixed. And how do you demonstrate 10 years down the road or 5 years down the road that was there when you first purchased the house? You can't. And that's why you do that pre-drywall walk. Another reason right here, you see this foam. This is the most ridiculous thing. This is for a fire hazard. So what happens is, from underneath here, this is supposed to be sealed all the way. But what happens is when they spray this one in, it's supposed to close all those holes. That way it doesn't draw oxygen from this opening right here, which causes oxygen to come in here, and it's not going to be as fire resistant as another house that has that sealed very well. So they have to come in here, spray it all, make sure it's all sprayed up well. Because even the city already came in here. They didn't say anything about all these issues that we found. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to show you something that I found that was quite concerning, that really bothered me. So those are a few of these examples. Obviously, you have crooked studs right here. That's not acceptable. You can see how it's like bent this way. I don't know if you can see it from the video, but maybe I have to back up a little bit. Look at that. Look at that stud. Look how it's crooked like that. That needs to be replaced, or at least sistered up. So they have to put another stud right next to it to give that support to this frame. And that might have passed the inspection already, which is ridiculous. So that needs to be fixed. What else? These are just a few items. There are hundreds of things that you have to watch out for. I'm going to show you one more thing that we found in this house that was quite concerning to me. And I hope they're able to fix it, because this could pretty much jeopardize the deal. All the money that my clients put into this house, at least they'll get their money back. But, if they built a house and they're not willing to fix it like this would be huge for interest rates that they locked in, the ability for them to buy a house. Maybe it's going to change. And, and that's the problem when you fall out of escrow with one of these homes because of the builder not building a quality house, might incur into some big issues. Now, check this out. Nobody noticed this until I went in here and I saw it. Look at this. You have, see anything wrong here? Look at that top. Look how it slopes down this way. So this whole roof right here has, I would say, 2 to 3 inches. It's about 2 or 3 inches lower on this side than this side. This is the high spot. So when I was walking in there, at first I didn't notice it. I was walking in there to check if there are any squeaks. That's another thing we have to cover in a second. But I was walking in there to check for the squeaks. I was like, what's wrong here? I feel like this spot is way lower. And it felt like I was on an uphill like this. And that was the case. There's quite it's difficult to see it right now in the picture, but this whole side of the house is about 2 or 3 inches lower. So there must have been some mistake from the framers where something on this side must have been a few inches lower, and like the frame on the exterior of the house, or that spot right there is up higher about 2 to 3 inches. I'm not sure how they're going to fix it, but this is the case for this house. Even up here, you can see how they had to adjust with these studs. They all cut them lower. You can see hold on, let me get closer real quick here. You can see the slope coming down right here. Look at the distance between this stud, this joist right here, and look at that 2x4 that they had to put there to kind of, I don't know why they put that 2x4 actually, but you can definitely see the slope coming down here when you're here live of this house, which means you have 3 inches of slope on 6 feet. That's a lot. So this is going to cause an issue, because now what if they can't fix it? Well, they have to fix it, right? What is that going to entail? It might take them postponing the house being, closure, like closing by maybe a few months, if it's going to take them long to fix this up. Or what about if they would have installed everything, right? What if they would have installed all the drywall, all the cabinets, everything is done in the house. Now they have to come in, open everything up because it doesn't look good. Or maybe they covered it up because they already passed all these city inspections, because these inspectors from the city obviously didn't notice shit. Excuse my language. But now you're getting a house that is horrible. It's fixed very bad, and they didn't fix it up front. There was nothing that they could have done. Now, I think there's still ways for them to fix this up. They'll have to raise a little bit, a few inches, that roof right there, It is possible, it's doable. You know, these people that do the framing can take care of this, but it's something that needs to be taken care of right away before all the other trades come in and finish this house. Then, because I can guarantee you, once it's finished, they're not coming back. They're not changing this house. It's gonna stay the same way because it already passed all the city inspections and all that stuff. Nobody's gonna come in and fix this house. And then what happens? My clients is either stuck with this house, with this quality construction, or they have to cancel the agreement. And what happens when you cancel the agreement? Most likely you won't get your deposit money back. So you're losing money. You lost so much time of you being under contract. You're 6 months building this house, and you didn't catch it on time. That's the importance of having that experienced realtor with you, whether it's a realtor, whether you get an inspection, a pre-drywall inspection, because I happen to know this stuff because I'm always in here, but a lot of people don't know. A lot of people are completely oblivious to what could happen. But it's not like I know, because at the first time, I didn't know. All these, the first time I started selling houses, I didn't do this stuff. But with experience, I learned, hey, this is the best process in place. This is the best system. You have to get this inspection. You have to go there. You have to do this pre-drywall walk. You got to look for this, this, and that. That's what you have to do on these pre-drywall walks. And that's what comes with hiring a realtor that is experienced with these new constructions. One more thing I'm going to tell you that I always watch out for. And that was, you know, when I discovered that issue right there, I was also discovering some spots that have soft spots. Like, for example, this one right here, it has a soft spot. That's because they didn't screw in this plywood well enough. So that soft spot, what's going to happen is they're going to install the carpet on top of it. If you have luxury vinyl plank on top here, guess what? They're going to install all the luxury vinyl plank on top of the soft spot. When you step on it, this board underneath is going to move because it hasn't been installed correctly, and then it's going to start causing that squeak. And you're going to see what the builder is going to say. First thing you're going to say, well, squeaks are normal. That's literally what I got from this builder 2 days ago on a final walk. We went in there, we were in the bathroom. They put luxury vinyl plank in the bathroom. It was like right next to the toilet right there. There was a huge squeak, right? What happened is we were in the bathroom and I put the foot down on next to the toilet and started squeaking. Oh, there it is. And it does move, the house does move, it settles a little bit. But the problem why the board squeaks, the subfloor squeaks, is because it hasn't been anchored well against the studs, which is the real issue, because it moves, the board moves, flexes, wood flexes. But then what happens is if the nails on the side, you don't have enough nails, the board is going to move more. And then what happens is the board is going to have these nails sticking out. Let me show you here. So for example, let's say this is that plywood that we have here on the floor. Okay, I'm just going to make an example right here. This is that plywood. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Here's the nail going into the wood. If this is the head of the nail, let's say this is the head of the nail, comes out now, and this wood, you step on this wood, right, and it moves. What happens is it's going to move on the nail. And then this nail, the friction of the nail against the wood is going to create the squeak. That's what's happening. So you have to re-anchor back all those nails because they didn't put them in the right way the first time. So that's what you have to do. You have to check all these boards. Do they move? Is there any issues? Because once they put up the flooring, guess what? Well, it's within the standard. If it squeaks, it's normal. The house moves, they'll tell you. Like literally bullshit like that. The house moves when they didn't anchor it well in the first place. And then guess what? You're going to be in this situation where they're saying, oh, we're not going to fix it. And then what do? You didn't do your job on the pre-drywall walk? There's going to be an issue. Now, this is part of the whole process of building a house. But there's so much more involved with this that I can't go over on a short video like this one. But that's all the stuff that we check out: electrical, HVAC, plumbing. Is there anything that we need to watch out for all these parts of building the house? fiberglass that they install, making sure that everything looks good before they put up the tile around it and all that stuff, because the waterproofing on it, there are so many mistakes that are done by the builder that will never get caught, and that the superintendents are not thorough enough, that can really jeopardize the quality of your house. That's where having your inspections, even though this is not the top builder here in town, I mean, they probably sell the most homes in town out of any other builder. However, quality-wise, probably not the best one. That's not necessarily a problem with the materials that they use, right? Like, for example, this is like the cheap paper that they put in here. This is not the highest quality paper that they have. There's other builders that put way better quality materials in here, but the house is going to be great. It's going to last you forever. It's just a problem with the installation process, that there's things that they do, the builders, that mess up the quality of the construction. And this is where you come in and you have to do your due diligence. And that's why this whole business has such bad reviews. All the builders have such bad reviews. Oh, this is blah, blah, blah. It's all about the fact that they don't want to spend the money to fix it later. So you have to be on top of it. You have to be on top of the builder and build the house the right way. I hope this video kind of opened up. How you doing, sir? That's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope this video kind of opened up your eyes on what to expect on a pre-drywall walk, what items to look out for. This is just a few of so many things that need to be looked at, and you have to hire the right inspectors to do an inspection beforehand. I'm not saying I'm an inspector. I've been here hundreds of times, so I know what to look out for, and I catch things that inspectors don't catch. But also the inspectors, you gotta have the, you gotta know the right inspectors that know what to look out for. And hiring those inspectors that are gonna be very thorough with your house can save you a lot of money, a lot of hassle, a lot of headaches eventually in the future. So I hope this was helpful. Hit the like button. Let me know down in the comments. I wanna know what your experience was with the builder, what they did wrong, what you could have done to fix that, if you would have known in advance. And then, just let me know your experience down there, because I know a lot of people are going to be watching this video and they're going to say, well, they're going to go down to the comments, they're going to check out and see what the builders are doing, what happened, what experiences people had. And I want to hear your experience. I mean, I even had my experience. I want to tell you one story that I had on my personal house, actually. And that's a condensation line. Condensation line is a pipe. I'm going to show you where it is. But it's a pipe on the side of the house. And what it does is it gets the condensation outside from the AC unit upstairs. So the AC unit has condensation that is created. And let me find that pipe for you guys. And what happened is that's normal that you have the condensation creating in your HVAC unit upstairs. But what happens is that that condensation has to get out somewhere. And then what happened is I had this condensation line, which I don't know where it is on this house, but there should be one on the side. And it was clogged up. Well, it was cut off. Like during the building process, when they were putting insulation, it was cut off. There was this pipe. It was a PVC pipe. Let me show you. I want to show you what it looks like. So I can't find one here. There, it's something like this. This is the kind of pipe that you had, right? Like this. And this was buried into the wall. It was cut off. It was buried into the wall, cut off. And they didn't have an exit going to the outside like this one. Now this is a discharge line, but it's the same pipe that comes up from the attic, right? Now this freaking pipe was cut off. The builder didn't care. The people that were putting in insulation, they don't know. They just slap insulation in. They're just doing their job. They don't care. And I had that leak, that pipe leak into my wall for, I would say, about a year. For the first year, and I bought a brand new built home. I didn't know. It was like 8 years ago, before I wasn't even a realtor. And they built this house with a broken pipe inside my wall that was leaking condensation set in the wall. Out of nowhere, I see, because it was leaking on into the bathroom wall, out of nowhere, I see the wall kind of peel off, all the paint. It was outrageous, the smell of mold. That was after a year of water trickling into the wall of my house. I could have sued that builder, and in hindsight, I would have, because they created so much stress and issues with the whole process. I could have sued them, and I could have made some really good money. They came in, they fixed everything. It was actually after the 1-year warranty was expired. They came in and fixed it anyway because they knew that they effed up. But I could have sued their asses because they didn't do a good job. But here's the problem. What could I have done better to fix that issue before it happened, right? What could I have done to oversee the builder? Because it's my house. I'm going to live in it. I want to be very meticulous about what they do with my house. And what you can do is this pre-drywall walk, the inspections, and all that stuff. The realtor that I had at the time was a good friend of mine. I used my friend because, hey, it's your friend. You got to help them out. You know them. You got to go with them. I understand. I did it too. I made that mistake too. He had no idea. He probably never sold a brand new home. Who knows? But you're not getting that experience with this realtor. And I had to deal with all the consequences of that. That was my fault because I didn't know better. But now that you guys know throughout this video, you are going to be prepared. Anyway, that's going to be it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like these about pre-drywall walks. That way you can then also for all the new construction homes that I toured every day for you guys. And if you guys need my help as a realtor, obviously all my information is down below in the description, so you can check out that phone number, email, text me, email me, whatever it is that works best for you. We'll get in touch and we'll get you started with the process of buying your perfect home. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.